Good morning from the mountains of Westcliff, Colorado. I appreciate you joining me, and the purpose of this video is to sort of send a message to those people who are former Christians, and of course in my perspective they never were, but they may disagree with me on that, and that's okay. My main concern is that I see there is a trend, sort of popular, within the circle of cynics and ex-Christians. They leave Christianity, and they were once these kind of nice people. They treated people kindly. They didn't have potty mouth all the time. I mean, I know that sometimes all of us use a little expletive here and there, but it seems like they just delight in being mean for the sake of being mean, to show that I'm an ex-Christian. I'm no longer a believer, and this world sucks, and so we've got to attack it and be mean and show ourselves to be militant, I think one of the things you have to remember is that there are certain universal principles in the Bible. Just because you don't believe all of the Bible doesn't mean that everything in the Bible is mistaken. For example, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. How is your cynicism and how is your critical spirit treating you now? Seriously, it's a question I have to ask all the time. Jesus said they'll know you're my disciples by your love for one another. And I have to ask myself, how am I coming across as a Christian? Well, how are you coming across as a secularist or as an atheist or an agnostic? Do you get great delight in people seeing that you're now a meanie? And the same is true with you Christians. How do you feel about setting an example of hatred and so forth, calling yourself a Christian when Jesus said, love one another as I have loved you, love your neighbor as yourself? But specifically to the secularists, I've seen this trend. It's like a fad. And I know that secularists have done this throughout the ages, but it's more common now. It's like, I'm no longer a Christian. I'm militant. I want to be like Christopher Hitchens and Richard Dawkins. And it's like you take pride in being arrogant and mean. There's no pride in that. There's no reason to gloat over being arrogant and mean. You can still be a nice person. You can still be kind. What is desired in a person is kindness, Proverbs says. Soft answer turns away wrath. Return good for evil, for in so doing you will heap coals of fire on their heads. Those things still remain true when you practice them. A kind word breaks the bone. Just let your gentleness be made known to all. And I'm not saying Christians by any means have this dialed, and I sure don't. But don't take pride in arrogance. Don't take pride in being mean, in being antagonistic. There is nothing to boast about. All that does is stir up spirits and fuel the fire and incite people to rage, and it makes them not want to believe your system. Just like angry Christians, when secularists see angry Christians, do you think angry Christians and spiteful, vindictive, malicious Christians set a good example for Christianity and make people want to join it? No. Well, the same is true with your secularism. If you want it to have a powerful impact, try being nice. Don't follow the fad of militant cynicism and militant skepticism. Don't do it. It doesn't work. I don't evaluate a system based upon your lack of performance, and I hope you don't evaluate mine. Some people discredit Jesus because of a bunch of mean Christians. It's sad, but it's true. Well, the same is true with your secularism. Your meanness discredits your secularism, just like a Christian's meanness discredits Jesus and discredits Christianity. So I encourage you to drop the fad, okay? It's not impressive. Angry Christians are not impressive, and angry secularists are not impressive. Angry cynics. Critique the system. Do it logically with as much information that you have, but don't spoil it with your personality. Don't spoil it with following trendy militant skepticism. It's just not helping your cause. So anyway, I hope you have gleaned a bit of information from this. And try and live a life of joy. I'm sure your family and those around you will appreciate it. Peace.